This is Energized, a podcast about simple ways you can improve your energy. I'm Dina, a naturopath, personal trainer and wellness coach with 14 years experience working with a wide range of clients to help improve their health, fitness and overall energy. Hello and welcome to this week's Energized episode. This week I am talking all things digestion. So if you are someone who suffers from any kind of digestive complaints, whether it's burping, flatulence, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, or anything in between, then this episode is definitely for you. Just my general health disclaimer before I start. While I am a qualified naturopath and personal trainer, anything that I talk about in this podcast is general in nature. If you would like some individualized advice, please jump on my website, dinasavitz.com, or send me an email, dina@dinasavitz.com. Okay, so this week I thought I would give my top tips to improve digestion. As a naturopath, one of the core fundamental beliefs of naturopathy is that all disease begins in the gut. And that's because it does, really. There's no other way to say it. But everything that you eat and the way that your digestion works affects how you feel and has an ongoing effect on your overall health. So as a naturopath in clinic, I probably spend a good 5 to 10 minutes out of an hour consultation asking clients all about their digestion and gut health. So we go through a wide range of things. I talk all about symptoms that they might be feeling. We look at bowel movements, how often, what they look like as well. I'm not going to go into that in this episode. And then I also talk about a lot of the time supplements and especially herbs that can help to improve digestion. Again, I will talk about one of my favorite herbs at the end in my herb of the week, but I thought I would give my 5 top ways to improve digestion. And I do tend to talk about this with clients in clinic. However, I do believe that taking supplements, whether it's herbal medicine, tissue salts, prebiotics, probiotics, a combination of all of them, definitely helps speed up the process of gut healing. However, that being said, there are some simple ways that you can improve your digestion. And today I'm sharing my top 5. My first tip is not to drink and eat. So no, I don't mean alcohol. I mean any kind of liquid. So that includes water. Ideally, when you sit down to eat a meal, you want to be able to create enough digestive juices to activate your digestion and be able to digest the food that you're eating without watering it down with any kind of water or juice or anything else, because what that can do is exactly what I said, waters down your digestive juices and can affect your ability to digest. So that's my first tip, is try not to drink and while you're eating. So either if it's breakfast that you're having, I always recommend clients start the day with a big glass of water. So have your water before you eat something, or if you do find that you like to drink, then I encourage you to think about why. Why is it that you need to drink while you're eating? And it might be the next tip that I'm going to get to, but try to avoid having any kind of liquid around your meal or during your meal. Try to limit it to either beforehand or about, half an hour to an hour after you finish your meal. Now, my second tip is to chew your food really, really well. Now, this is one of the reasons that a lot of people tend to drink while they eat, and that's because they inhale their food. They can't get the food down fast enough, and they forget to chew. So I encourage you to count the amount of times that you chew your food. And again, my next tip is going to help with this. And if you can get to, it's not so easy, but I think from the top of my head, the ideal amount of times to chew your food is 60 possibly, which is a lot. But if you just count them actually first up and see how many times you chew a mouthful. And what you want to do is you really want to chew it as much as you can so that when you start chewing, you're activating your digestive juices and you're helping to break down the food with your teeth before it enters the rest of your digestive tract. And a really good way to ensure that you're chewing your food really, really well is to eat mindfully. And that's my third tip. So eating mindfully, not mindlessly. So if it's lunch, making sure that you take a lunch break away from your computer, sit either outside or at your table and eat without any distractions. So not having your phone there, not having your computer, not having anything else, but thinking about what you're eating, taking the time to chew that food. So when you eat mindfully, you are more aware of what's going into your mouth. You're not just shoveling the food in, and then you can be more aware of how many times you're chewing each mouthful of food. My fourth tip is to keep a food diary. So I do tell most clients this when they, after an initial consultation, when they first come to see me. If you are suffering from any really big digestive issues like constipation or diarrhea or a mix of both, or bloating especially is a big one as well, that I see a lot of women come to see me for, I should say, in my clinic. Keeping a food diary can be a really great way to pinpoint exactly which foods are causing specific symptoms. So things that can cause a lot of bloating are the brassica family. So, they are really healthy vegetables, things like broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. However, they can cause bloating if your digestive tract or your digestion is not optimized as well as it could be. There are also a list of foods that come under the FODMAP diet, and those foods can also create excess gas in your stomach and can cause bloating. It can be different for different people as well. As a naturopath, often I talk about dairy causing more inflammation, and again, inflammation can lead to bloating or digestive discomfort or diarrhea. That's a big one too. Wheat can also cause issues for certain people. So keeping a food diary can help pinpoint those foods, but I do encourage you to do, once you do keep a food diary, not to completely cut foods out of your diet, because that's not the goal. When you are looking to improve your digestion, you want to possibly cut those foods for a little bit and then reintroduce them once you've worked a little bit on your gut so that your digestion has improved. Now, my fifth tip is a way that you can work on your gut, and that is to include prebiotics in your diet. So there are lots of foods that contain prebiotics. I personally like to use prebiotic fibers like acacia gum, guar gum, partially hydrolyzed guar gum, I should say. There are a lot of other fibers that you can use as well. I find that a powdered fiber is a really good way to increase the amount of fiber in your diet. You can go back a few episodes. I can't remember which number episode it was, but I did talk about fiber as being really important for overall health, but it's especially good for digestion and gut health. The prebiotic powder can increase fiber, but can also create more beneficial bacteria in your gut, which will ultimately help reduce bloating, reduce unwanted symptoms, and improve your digestion. So there's my 5 top ways to improve digestion. Just a quick summary again. Number 1 is don't drink and eat. Number 2, chew your food really well. Number 3 is to eat mindfully, not mindlessly. Number 4 is to keep a food diary. And number 5 is to include prebiotics in your daily diet. If you have any questions about any of those, please get in touch. I love talking about gut health and digestion, and I would love to know out of those 5 if you start to do any of them and if you find any kind of improvement to your digestion. Now, onto my herb of the week. This week, I'm talking gentian. Gentian is an amazing bitter tonic. So a bitter tonic is a class of herbs that helps to stimulate your digestion. Now, gentian is generally prescribed before a meal, and what it does is it helps to reduce hypochlorhydria. So that is low levels of hydrochloric acid in your stomach. It helps to activate hydrochloric acid because that's what you want. You want more, your gut to be producing more hydrochloric acid so that your digestion is improved. Gentian is indicated for food allergies or sensitivities, anorexia, convalescence, dyspepsia, halitosis, that's bad breath, nausea, as well as other digestive complaints. So it's quite a low dose extract. It's 5 to 15 mils per week. So as I mentioned, for optimal effect, taking it 15 minutes before meals will help to stimulate digestion and will help your food be digested better. It is a herb that I love to use in my clinic. I do often mix it with some other herbs. If you would like to find out more, please send me an email or book in for a consultation on my website, dinasavitz.com. I hope that you have a beautiful week ahead filled with good health and good gut health. Bye.